ladies and gentlemen, Paul Chamberlain, the Air Force guy, RV extraordinaire, coming to you today to talk to you about how to properly empty your tanks. There is a correct way, and there's some other ways that you can do it. It's just not going to be as effective. Now, for those of you that have a black tank rinse on your camper, that will make things a lot easier. It makes it so that you don't have to drag a hose in and put it down the toilet to rinse out your black tank. Now here's the way you're supposed to do it. When you get to your campsite, obviously you're going to be set up. You hook your hose up, you put it in the ground. However, you leave the valves closed until you are ready to leave or the tanks are full. Now some people will go ahead and leave the gray tank open, but you need the gray tank to be full to help rinse through that sewer hose when you are done. It'll just make your job a lot easier. So you're hooked up, you're ready to leave, your tanks are full, you need to dump them. What you're going to be doing first is you're going to be pulling the black tank handle and you're going to let that dump. Now, to make life a little bit easier, when you connect onto here or where it's going into the ground, if you have a clear connection port, that way there you're going to know when your tank is clear, you're going to know when things are done emptying as well. So you let that empty. Now, you bring a separate garden hose with you and you're going to connect that to your black tank rinse. Now for those of you that do not have a black tank rinse on your camper, they're very easy to install. You're going to go ahead and hook it on here, you're going to turn on the water. You're going to hear it running through the tank. Let it run for a little bit. Now I know that the stickers on the sides say to leave the valve open. However, by leaving the valve open, they do that because it's more of a legal thing. They don't want to be held responsible for those that may do it wrong. So I'm going to give you the information needed to do it the proper way, but keep in mind, do this at your own risk. So what you're going to do is, you're going to close that valve. Now you must stay on task. If you do not stay on task, bad things will happen. And what you're going to do is you're going to go inside at the monitor and you're going to wait, you're going to watch for the black tank to become 2/3 full. Once it is 2/3 full, you come out here, you pull your valve, and that's going to rush out. Now if you're not happy with how clean the tank is, you can do it a second, a third time. Now for those of you, once you do have it cleaned, for those of you that will be camping the following weekend or maybe later on that month, close the valve and throw a few gallons into that black tank and shut it off. Then all you do is go inside, put some chemical in your toilet, and that way there, as you're towing home, the chemical in the water inside your black tank will slosh around, keep your tank clean, and you're ready for your next trip. Now I mentioned that you must stay on task, although I didn't tell you what would happen if you didn't. And here's what would transpire if you do not stay on task and you get sidetracked doing something else. You've got one of two bad things that are going to happen. The first bad thing is, once the black tank is full, and if the seal on your toilet is not sealed properly, it's going to back up into your camper. That's a bad thing. You don't want that happening, do you? Now let's say that you have the seal is good. Well, that's great. Now you just saved the inside of your camper from getting all that mess. But what's going to happen is now your tank is full and it has a vent tube that is on it. And that's going to go all the way up onto the roof of your camper, and all that stuff is going to come out all over your camper. So that's the two bad things that could happen if you do not stay on task. So by all means, do stay on task. Do not do like some people tell you to do and time it. The problem with timing it is this: if you time it and let's say the water pressure is low and it takes a long time, the next time you do it or some other time you do it, you're doing a timer, you may overfill your tank because the water pressure is higher. Now I know you're probably going to use a water pressure regulator, but that regulates it to 40 psi, somewhere between 40 to 50 psi. But let's say you only have 20 psi, when you time it, that's going to create a problem if you're at 40 psi. So my recommendation is that you go inside and you stand there where you're going to check the levels of your tank to make sure that you're on target, and when it's 2/3 full, come on out here and empty it. So hopefully that little tidbit of information helped you out. Any comments, like I say, put them down below. Like the video, subscribe to my channel if you'd like to have more informative information. I've got a lot of how-to videos, check those out as well. And I've got an ebook coming here very shortly, so do stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back at you again soon. Take care.